Kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling day. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast number 1675, Restless Blah Day. Hope you've all had a great day. Mine was up and down on the blah scale. We started off with a really good walk. Well, actually, somebody who shall remain nameless decided that we weren't going to do our normal walk this morning. No, she went off on a completely different route, kind of a mix of our evening walk with some of our sometimes day walk. Yeah. But we still had a good walk. And then we came home, and of course she wanted to go zooming in the backyard. So we went into the backyard, and then I thought, I wonder how much in, and I was like looking, and I went and did like a video of the backyard for a before video of what the backyard looks like right now with all the weeds and everything after I'd started pulling some again. And then I thought, well, because some of them are, about 18 inches to 3 feet tall. And so I thought, I wonder how easy these big ones are going to be to pull out. Now, no gardening gloves, just go grab it. And I'm just like, well, that was easy. And before I knew it, I had this nice little pile about yay big. They're all laying this way on the pile. So the pile's about this big. And then also like, I started getting lightheaded, and then I realized I'm doing all this physical work. I've been for a walk. We've come back. We played. Then I started pulling weeds, and I still haven't had breakfast. So we needed some nutritional input rapidly. So, and it was beautiful. It was a gorgeous morning out there this morning. I thought, so we'll go inside. We'll have breakfast, and then I'll get changed into my gardening stuff, because I have these long old yoga pants. And I like to use them for gardening because it doesn't matter if they get dirty and stained and stuff. And so I thought, I'll get changing those after breakfast, and then we can get in and we can clear out maybe all of that side yard. If they're going to come up this easy, and I could have that side yard cleared of the big plants really quickly. Yeah, while having breakfast, the wind came up. And of course, as soon as I walked inside, I started sneezing and nose started dripping. I started watering, and I'm like, oh, great, allergies from the weeds. And then after breakfast, I went to go and get changed. Happened to look outside because I heard this noise. I thought, what's that? And it was the wind coming through the palm trees that are on other properties and that surround our backyard. I was like, yeah, I ain't going out in that. I'm not pulling weeds in a wind, because that's just going to make the allergy thing even worse. So if I sound a little hoarse, that's why, because of the allergy stuff. We just came in from a walk. And so I was kind of bummed about that, because I was really looking forward to getting out. I know I was looking forward to getting out in my yard and weeding my yard. And I'm sort of like, I never want to go out in the, like, when did I last get excited about, we're going to go pull some weeds today? I kind of guess I got excited when I saw how easy it was going to be to pull these ones out of the ground. So maybe that's what got me started on that. I'm being excited to go outside. But it was going to be nice, because Zeffie could be out there with me, because if I'm out in the front yard, I have the front door open, but she's behind the security screen door, and she doesn't like being back there. And because I've got the weed whacker, I have the weed whacker out, I have the blower out, and the lawnmower and all that. I don't want her getting hit by anything that goes flying around. Whereas out in the backyard, I'm not using any of that equipment. I'm using my hands and pulling. And that's all I was going to do. And she was kind of curious as to what I was doing when I was pulling the weeds. And we got rid of something, and they were coming up really easy. Like, even on the video, I'm like holding the phone in this hand, and I just reach down and just grab hold of this one and just pull it. And it was probably a 2 foot tall one, and just pulled it up. And, well, that came up really easy with one hand. None of them I was pulling two-handed. So their roots are not very shallow, even though they're very tall. Their roots are not very deep, which can be turned into a business thing at times too. Yeah. I'll have to figure out on that one. But anyway, so yeah, I made this nice little pile, and we'll see what the wind's doing. And the wind was around most of today. We didn't even have the front door open. Usually around lunchtime, I've been opening the front door and putting Zeffie's bed there behind the security screen, and she basically spends the afternoon there while I'm in here working. And so then I came in here, and I had a reminder on my phone that, because Roots Tech's been on the last 3 days, and Roots Tech is done by FamilySearch.org, where they put on a genealogy roadshow type genealogy show thing, and it's held up in Utah. I think it's Utah. And it's held at this hotel because they're talking about what ballroom you have to be in and blah, 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 blah. But they also have some of their sessions are broadcasted online. There's some in person only, and then there's the other ones that are in person and or online. So they have some online specific ones only, but they had the final general session today. It started at 11 o'clock my time, which is Mountain Time. And it was, the keynote speaker was, hang on, Kristen Chenoweth. She was awesome. I have to say, she was awesome. She was delightful. She comes out, she sings a song, then she goes and sits down with Caleb, who was sort of like the moderator for their conversation, and he would interview her about her life and the importance of family and things and how she got into singing. And they figured she was singing before she could talk. And she was actually adopted. Now, this was interesting because not only was she adopted, but her first adoption fell through before she ended up with the adopted parents that she's got. So she was actually meant to be going to another family. So she was put up for adoption. She was supposed to be going to a different family, but then that family, the wife found out she was pregnant, and so they thought, well, we've already been blessed with our own child, so rather than having two babies around, they decided that they were going to bless another family and let that child, which was Kristen, go to a different family, and that's how she ended up with the family that she grew up with. And she has met her birth mother, and what was really weird in her story was that the birth mother would say that on Kristen's birthday, she would go into a room by herself and say a prayer that she was having a good life. And they both did the same thing. Kristen would go into a room by herself and thank God for her birth mother giving her life and hoping that she's had to have a good life and blah, blah. They would go into their rooms and send up a birthday prayer for each other on those days. And that is so cool. But of course, she wanted to find a family because she wanted, where did the singing voice come from? Where did my shortness come from? And then she finally got married for the first time at the age of 55 last September. Oh, that is so cool. But her story was really interesting, and how she was encouraged to sing, and she wanted to. They had the choir auditions at church, and she went along to audition for the choir, and they says, no, it's for adults only. And she's like, I want to sing in the choir. But so she's been singing her entire life, basically. And she was just such a delight. And she had just flown in from the East Coast overnight, gotten off the plane that morning, straight to the where the event was to get up on stage and sing. And she had Mary with her. Mary's been her assistant / musician / backup singer for because she was doing some of the backup vocals and the duets and things, and playing the piano for her, because she would sing, sit and have an interview, get up and sing, sit and have an interview, get up and sing. And they did that. And she did 3 or 4 songs. I can't remember, but it was just really interesting. And she was only on for like 40 minutes, but it was just a really cool story that she had about her life, about, how she handled the whole adoption thing. The fact that she was, adopted, how she got into the music, what she's doing to leave a legacy as well. And what was really cool with the legacy portion was that her dad, I think it was her dad or grandfather, one of them was telling, what legacy are you gonna do? And she was coming up with these ideas, and they got, think bigger. You need to go bigger. And so now she has this 2-week summer camp, which she has kids going to, and she brings in some of her Broadway friends down there to help teach them theater art, the singing, the dancing, the acting, that sort of thing. Oh, that is so cool. And this is her legacy that she is leaving. And I can't remember how the kids get to go to camp. That's the bit I can't remember. I have to go back and watch the recording of it, but it was really, really cool to see that. And then when that finished, I was like, okay, now what am I going to do? So I started doing some genealogy research, and I got this tool that I use on and off. And I thought, I have to remember to use this tool every time I go researching, because it tracks where I go, and I can capture information on it. So like I can right click on the information, and it will, and the Google extension will app program thing will save that information for me. And then I can turn around and say, okay, I want you to compare this, this, and this. And let's see if we've got the same person, or we've got 3 different people, or we've got 2 different people, that sort of thing. It is the coolest thing. And so I did some more, did some genealogy research today. But I was just kind of feeling restless. And I guess it's because I really wanted to go out and pull weeds today, and I didn't get a chance to do it because of the wind, which kind of upset me a little bit. And I'm like, why am I getting upset about pulling weeds? They're going to be there tomorrow. I can go pull them tomorrow, And if, when I'm outside in the morning with Zeffie, if it's not windy, just walk over there and start pulling weeds while she's doing her. Although now that when she gets into the thing and starts running backwards and forwards, she'll start running and she'll do like a zoom down one way and then come back and just stop and put her head up over the little wall to see, where are you? And I'm like, I'm right here. Go, go, go. And she'll run off again. But I have to be within her sight. I'm not allowed to be inside the house. I have to be out there with her. I have to be by the planter for her to do her running up and down. And crazy dog, I tell you. And I was just trying to, and then it turned out that and I picked up the tennis ball because it was a split tennis ball with some of it, and I looked at it and I'm going, this has had the fur stripped off it more than I recall it doing yesterday. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so I'm just throwing it for her and she goes after it. And then when I'm doing the video, I'm looking into the planter. There's the ball we normally use. There was this ball that would have more fur stripped off it. And then there was one of those little hacky sack things that has the little beads in it. I'm like, yeah, you ain't getting your teeth around that one. And they'd somehow ended up in our backyard. That's how she ended up with the first tennis ball. So now she has 2 tennis balls out there. And of course I threw one and she looks at it and then she looks back at this one and says, well, this is the one you're supposed to be throwing. And it was the new one that had landed overnight in our backyard. I don't know where they come from. I've got, different houses they could be. There's one directly behind. There's the one on either side. And then, of course, there's the diagonal ones as well because, the 4 properties meet in that one corner. So, and I know that the 3 across the back all have kids. And I know that the ones on this side is a couple. The ones on this side is a family as well, but I've never heard them in the backyard. But I do know that the one directly behind us and the one next to them the kids are always out in the backyard, and because you hear them. So it may have come from one of those 2 houses. I don't know. But yeah, so we got some research done today, and then I was just sort of like, oh, it's time for lunch. And it was like 3:00 in the afternoon. So I went and had some lunch, and I was like, I just need to sit and read. And I was just sort of like, what do I need? I need to do something. I need to do something. And I was sort of like, what do I need to do? I need to read. It was one of those, I wanted to do something. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I was like, let me just go sit. I've eaten lunch. Let me just go sit, calm down, find my space and everything else. And then, and read for a little bit. So that's what I did, read for a little bit. And then, and I'm sitting there and I'm reading. I'm like, it's getting awfully dark around here. And it was like 5:30. I looked at Zeffie and she's like underneath, as buried into the blankets as she can possibly get herself without me having to throw a blanket over her. And I says, do you want to go for a walk? And she opens up one eye and looks at me and then just closes it and snuggles back down. I went, okay. I'm like, fine. But I needed to go for a walk. So I thought, well, I'll just start getting ready. And then I asked her again. Then she got up, and when I got up, she got up and took off for the door. So I said, right, I'm ready. Let's go. So we've done our evening walk. We came back and here we are. But today's just kind of been weird. And then I suddenly realized when I was looking through, I had to pull some notes out for one set of my genealogy notes out. And I was looking for which box I had them in because I still have boxes of genealogy notes that I haven't unpacked because I have nowhere to unpack them. Well, I guess if I cleaned out that filing cabinet, I could do that. And then I found and while I'm doing that, I suddenly realized I don't have any patches on today. No wonder I'm all fuddled. My brain's all fuddled today, and I'm feeling a little blur because I didn't have my patches on that would help me, with my balance, with my thinking and everything else. And I thought, no wonder I feel so out of sorts because I didn't put my patches on today. So problem solved. Don't forget to put, if you do patches for balance, if you do patches for helping you think, concentrate, make sure you put them, when you take them off, make sure you put them on. You put them on again later on after you've showered and the stuff. And then I said, oh yeah, that's why I haven't put them on, because the idea was to come home from the walk, have her do her thing. We have breakfast. I go pull weeds. And then after I pull weeds, I was going to go and have a shower. And then I was going to put my patches on. Well, yeah, we didn't get to, I mean, I didn't pull that many weeds, probably about 10 before we went back and before I suddenly like, oh yeah, I got to go have breakfast. And then I kind of forgot about it for the rest of the day. So yeah, that'll be why. Because I didn't have my shower and because I always put my patches on after my shower. And that'll be why. And I'd already pulled off the ones I'd had on yesterday. That'll be why. Yep. Problem solved. Now we know why we had a restless blah day. Why we couldn't settle or anything else because we didn't have my patch on to help me focus. Yes. It'll be on tomorrow. It's Zeffie's birthday tomorrow too. She will be 5. Is it your birthday tomorrow? Yeah. You're going to be 5. So yes, she'll be 5 tomorrow. So I've got a bark box there for her. So I have several bark, but we've actually cancelled the bark box subscription for now, because I had like 6 or 7 of them sitting in the pantry. I think I'm down to 2 in the pantry, and I know there's one waiting for me at the mailbox. I have to get to the mailbox tomorrow too. Go clear our mailbox out. It hasn't been done for a while. Oh, this is something interesting. I went to clear because at the house here, I don't get a lot of mail. I might get 1 a week, maybe 1 every other week, maybe. And it's not a place where you have the mailbox in front of the house. They've got those banks of mailboxes that you've got to go to. You have to walk to and unlock your box and get your mail out. And so I thought, oh, well, I haven't done it for a while, so I'll go do that. So I get over there and there's this green piece of paper in there, all typed out, telling me that, you know, for security reasons, my mailbox is full. I need to clear it. And if I don't clear it by a certain date, and this one said underneath all the scribble, by the 27th of February, they were going to clear my mail and all unclaimed mail would be returned to sender. And for a period, and so then it comes back and says your mail has gone unclaimed for a period of 10 days or more and has been returned to sender. We will continue to be returned until you notify the post office to resume delivery. Now, to notify the post office, you actually have to go there. It's a 15-minute drive from my house. I don't have 15. And the times that they're open are the times that I'm always working. Like they open after I start work and they close when I finish work. And they said, but you can call. But, you know, resume deliveries. Here's our number to call. So I have been calling that number during their hours. Nobody answers the phone. It will ring and ring for 3 minutes and then just disconnect. I'm sort of like, so I am going to, tomorrow, I'm going to write a very nice little note to stick in my mailbox. In fact, I may even put it on the back of this. And yeah, and black ink on dark green paper. Yeah, don't do that. So I'm going to write a little note on the back of that to the USPS to ask them to please, I have been trying to call you. Nobody's answering the phone. I am still here. I am still in the, because I even had a new residence card because I thought I might have left. And I said, I am still here. Can you please resume my mail? I have tried calling, but nobody is answering the phone. And I can show them my phone log. I can show them my phone log. How many do I have in here to that one number? Well, there was 4 yesterday. 4 yesterday. At 3 minutes, and I would leave until I would just let it ring until it hung up. I think that's the one. Is that the right number? Yeah. So it was 4 times yesterday. Because when I first got, and I went and cleared my mail on the 28th, it had been cleared out the day before. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, now it explains to me why my friend got 4 of my cards back that she had sent. She had sent me 4 cards. She was like, I got these returned. I said, just go post office and now I know why they were sent back, because they've been taken out of my box and returned to sender because I hadn't claimed them. So I'm so like, damn it. So yeah, so I'm going to go to my regular mailbox, clear that out tomorrow, and then I'm going to put my note into my box here to say, can you please resume? I am sorry I left it for so long. I very rarely get mail here, so I very rarely check it. And 9 times out of 10, it is junk mail. So it just ends up getting tossed in the junk mail. Plus, it is also the residents who used to be in the house are still getting mail here. So it's return to sender stuff or junk mail. 99.9% of the time. So that's probably why I leave it for so long, because I know there's not going to be anything in there for me. Unless somebody says, hey, I've sent you something to your house. Then I'll go check it. But anyway, so that's it from me for today. Go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. And what do you do when you get restless blah days, when you're not really sure, where you're just not settled? Things just don't feel right. Mine's because I didn't put my patches on today. There you go. Anyway, I'm out of here. Go have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific. Hey, konara.